Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to Chilltown Hoops. I'm your host, Jermaine. The youngsters call me OG. My friends call me J-Dub. Let's get to it. You know, I live by the saying that offense sells game tickets, defense sells parade tickets. When you get into the playoffs, whatever you don't do, it's going to get exposed, no matter what it is. And the one thing that you have to do when you get into the playoffs is you have to guard. Because if you can't, it's going to get exposed. We cannot hide you when you get to the playoffs. The coaching is too good. The players are too good. We cannot hide you, and that's going to get exposed. So it got exposed last night in the fourth quarter. But it didn't get exposed early. It did not get exposed early. We're talking about a Golden State Warrior team that got going early. Steph Curry, 21 points in the first quarter. He was cracking threes. That offense, the action was moving. It was action all over the place. The Boston Celtics, who are going into this playoffs, the number one defense in the game, they had a lot of miscommunication issues. A lot of drop coverage on Curry, which we all know that you cannot play drop coverage on Steph Curry. You cannot. You absolutely have to chase him off screens. And if you chase him off screens and he split screens, that big man, or whoever your middle man is, he has to come up and help to get the ball out of Curry's hands. Because if you play drop coverage on him 22, 25 feet away from the basket, you're basically walking him into shots. And you're begging him to shoot. And that's a recipe for disaster. And the Boston Celtics, early on, they had some communication issues where Pritchard and Derek White were caught switching and leaving Curry open. That wasn't going to work. Well, they adjusted to that. Not only did they adjust to that, Robert Williams is another one who also started to hedge and chase Curry off screens. Curry had 0 points in the second quarter. 0. I thought they did a great job in getting the ball out of his hands. When you have shooters, when you have scorers like guys like Steph Curry, like Klay Thompson, you have to limit their shot attempts. Because once they get the ball, it's pretty difficult to slow them down. So I got to do what I can to get the ball out of their hands and get them off rhythm. So, because when you got guys who are shooters, the logic with these guys is once they get going, once they get in that rhythm, it's pretty difficult to get them out of that rhythm. So I thought that they did a good job of getting the ball out of Curry's hands in the second half. Him and Klay Thompson chasing him off the long ball line. Not only just chasing him off the long ball line, also forcing those guys into tough shots. I mean, we got a guy in Klay Thompson who went 3 for 6 in the second half. 6 shots in the second half. He played 20 of the 24 minutes and only took 6 shots. That's really good defense. That is really good defense for a guy in Klay Thompson who, you know, once he gets going, he's pretty difficult to deal with. I thought the Boston Celtics ramped up their defense. Once they started to figure out how to defend against the Golden State Warriors, they completely turned up their defense. And one of the main reasons of doing that is they shored up rebounding. Because in the first 2-3 quarters, they got destroyed on the offensive backboard. They gave up 11 offensive rebounds in the first 3 quarters. Now, with a team like the Golden State Warriors, when you're giving up second chance opportunities, you're setting yourself up for failure. Because they're too good offensively to continuously give them shots. Because they're not going to miss a lot. Especially when you give them second and third chance shots. So when these guys get 11 offensive rebounds, 5 of them in the second quarter, right? 5 of them in the first quarter. And then go on to 4 of them in the third quarter. You are setting yourself up for failure. Well, they shored that up. Because that's it. That's what the mantra is in the playoffs. You got to rebound the basketball, and you got to take care of the basketball. And the Warriors did that. The Boston Celtics did that. They took care of the basketball, and they rebounded the basketball. We're talking about a team that was +5 on the defensive backboard for the game. They only gave up 1 offensive rebound in the fourth quarter. 1. And we turned the basketball over 1 time in the fourth quarter. They forced the Golden State Warriors into 14 turnovers. Of those 14 turnovers, 4 of them came in the fourth quarter. I thought they did a good job with. I thought Coach Udoka did a really good job in the first half specifically. I thought he did a good job in the first half specifically and going with that small lineup with Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Derek White, Grant Williams, and Pritchard and Marcus Smart, I thought they did a great job defensively with that lineup. Because what they did was not only did they turn up the defensive intensity, and they were able to switch more, they were able to push Curry further away from the basket and force him into tough shots. Do the same thing with Klay Thompson, force him away from the basket into tough shots. And not only were they able to do that and gain rebound, they were able to beat the Golden State Warriors at their game. Because what happens now is, now we're getting them to only get one shot. I mean, we're talking about a team, again, +5 on the defensive rebound on the defensive backboard, +5. So what the Celtics end up doing is now they speed the game up. And now they force the Golden State Warriors to play defense in transition specifically. And I thought that they did a good job in transition of getting good looks. I thought they did a good job of forcing Draymond Green into tough shots too. It seems like they made Draymond be the guy. I mean, he took 12 shots and he said, if we're going to lose, we're going to eat your production. I mean, he was 0 for 4 on the long ball. We'll eat that. Well, absolutely. If he's going to shoot the long ball, absolutely we'll eat that. And with him not making shots early, that affects my game later on. Even though scorers, what they have a tendency to do, and I'm not putting Draymond Green in the same sentence with scorers, no, because Draymond Green is not a scorer. But what players tend to do is when they see the ball go through the basket, I mean, that's a confidence builder. And for Draymond to get wide open looks and for it not to go in, and then for him to get layups going right down the gut, and for those not to go in, well, that starts to interfere with your psyche. And now he finds himself second guessing, should I go to the basket? Should I pass? And he was effective at doing that. I mean, he was effective at passing the basketball, but I thought that the game plan against him was really good. I did. Jason Tatum didn't give us much offensively in terms of scoring, but this is what I'm talking about when I see him playmaking, when I see his ability to handle the basketball and get other guys involved. And I see him on the defensive side of the basketball. This is exactly what I mean when I tell you guys that we're going to have a serious conversation about Jason Tatum being the best player in the game. I mean, he didn't get going early offensively. And I keep telling you guys the reason why is because the game hasn't slowed down. There is no in-between with him right now. He must improve on that. Not that he can't knock down the mid-range. It's just the IQ right now. He hasn't improved on that because the game hasn't slowed down. It's either he's shooting the long ball or he's going to the basket. There's nothing in between. And when that in-between game comes, that opens up the offense, not just for him. That opens up the offense for everybody. And he didn't get his shot going. Well, instead of him burying his head and going, damn, I'm not scoring, what he did was he got the basketball and he got guys involved more in the game. And in addition to getting guys involved more in the game, he got involved in the game defensively. He guarded, which helped them out. You know, they outscored the Golden State Warriors +10 in the second half, 64-54, including a 40-16 fourth quarter. Now, if you would have told me that the Warriors were going to give up 40 points in the fourth quarter after going into the fourth quarter +13, I would not have bought that. No way would I have bought that. Absolutely not. But for them to go off the way that they did, I thought that the Celtics did a good job in beating the Warriors at their own game. Speeding the game up. Forcing those guys into tough shots, which is what the Warriors do. Force you into tough shots, one shot, gang rebound, speed the game up. There's always the logic of having a great game plan. You know, if you have a great game plan, normally it works. But the problem is that your game plan, somebody's going to see that and they're going to use it against you. And you don't have an answer for that because it's your game plan. And that's exactly what happened with the Boston Celtics last night. They beat the Golden State Warriors at their own game. At their own game. We're talking about a Boston Celtic team that only had one turnover in the fourth quarter. Like I said, man, if you're taking care of the basketball, right? If you're taking care of the basketball and you're rebounding the basketball, you give yourself a really good opportunity to win. Very good opportunity to win. You know, they forced the Golden State Warriors into 4 turnovers in the fourth quarter. And they converted on them. They absolutely converted on them. Like I just said, we're talking about a team that scored 40 points in the fourth quarter. Now, when you got a guy in Al Horford and Jaylen Brown, Al Horford, Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, and Derek White, you got those guys going 8 for 10 on the long ball in the fourth quarter, they're going to be hard to beat. They're going to be really hard to beat. I thought Derek White and Pritchard gave them great minutes. I wasn't 100% sure about how the Celtics would combat Golden State offensively, even though they're the best defense in the league. I thought that the Golden State Warriors offensively, they just were too much. I mean, we don't even talk about the fact that, you know, Andrew Wiggins, he had a quiet 20 last night. And I thought he did a good job when he was covering Jason Tatum. What Boston did, and I thought this was also a good idea too. What the Celtics did was they actually succeeded at what Dallas was trying to do. Dallas was trying to get Steph Curry in pick and switch to get him switched on to Luka. Well, that didn't work because the game plan was we're going to hedge and we're going to chase Luka off this screen and Andrew Wiggins is going to get back to him. Well, they actually got that last night where they were able to get Steph Curry on switches with Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum just didn't convert. He was going downhill. He just didn't convert. But what they also did in the process of that was they were able to get Steph Curry into foul trouble and throw him off of his rhythm. And I thought that was really good as well. Andrew Wiggins did a good job on Jason Tatum. I think he did a really good job on Jason Tatum and just making it hard on him. Like I said, when you get to this level, guys, it's really hard to stop a guy from scoring. Especially the elite scorers in the game. It's really hard to stop those guys. But if you can make it difficult on him, and I thought that Andrew Wiggins, 6'7", 6'8", not that much smaller than Jason Tatum, I thought he did a good job of chasing him off of good shots and making him shoot tough shots. I thought he did a damn good job at that. So going forward, I'm looking at this Boston Celtic team. Take care of the basketball. Limit turnovers. Rebound the basketball. All of that stuff is monumental in what they're doing. I don't expect the Boston Celtics to shoot the long ball the way that they did going forward, because if they do, especially in the fourth quarter, if they do, the Warriors don't have a chance. The Warriors don't have a chance. I don't expect them to continue to shoot like that. I think that the Golden State Warriors are going to do a better job defensively. I picked the Warriors in 6. I'm going to stay with that. I expect Curry to have a better all-around outing. I thought that he gave us everything that he could give us early. I thought they did a good job on him in the second half. Not even in the second half. I thought they did a great job on him after the first quarter. He scored 12 points. His ability to distribute was non-existent. I mean, he came in the fourth quarter. 9.5 minutes in the fourth quarter. From 6.5 minutes on, no points, 1 assist. He was completely and utterly ineffective. Didn't give us anything. So I'm having a difficult time seeing that going forward. I think that he's going to have to do a better all-around job. Same thing with Klay Thompson. They're going to have to put him in position to get him better looks and get him open looks. And that's what's going to be part of how they win. That's going to be part of it. So I have not been excited about the NBA Finals more. And I've been around for a lot of NBA Finals. I'm talking about since Magic and Doc went at it in 1980. I haven't been more excited about an NBA Finals than I have with this one right here. And this is awesome. So I'm going to be around as long as you guys want me to. So I'll be here and I'll see you guys soon. But until then, take it light, but take it.